There we go. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Let's get Instagram going. Here she comes. Go live on Instagram. And now let's get TikTok up to speed. I have got a question for you this morning. How do you move up in this industry if you can't even get in the room? Good morning. This is the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. Real talk. This is the real question. How do you move up in this industry if you can't even get in the room? This is what I dealt with yesterday. How do you move up in this industry if you can't even get in the room? This was the question that I threw at a casting director yesterday, Ricky Gimelstob. Good morning, Laura. Great to see you. This is the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. Welcome, YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Yesterday I had a class with a casting director, Ricky Gimelstob from Jonathan Strauss Casting, which is a very important office here in New York City because they do all of the Dick Wolf shows. They cast the Law and Orders. They cast the Chicago PD. They're a great office, and so I really wanted to make sure that I took advantage of whatever opportunity I could to get to know them. And it was an interesting class. She was very forward. It's going to be a 2-week class. So yesterday we did the dramatic scenes, and next week we'll do the comedic scenes. And she was very focused on seeing your scene, trying to find some way to redirect it to see if you could take direction, and then you do it again. Great. It was very straightforward. But each time I do one of these classes, I want to make sure that I'm really asking the questions that we all want to know the answers to. And I have booked co-stars. I have booked recurring. I have booked a couple of guest stars on television shows and over the years. And my question is, how do I move to the next level? And the thought that I had was like, the question that I have is, does that require a manager? I've never had a manager. I've only ever had agents. I love my agent. I am getting auditions for TV, film, and theater. And what I have never had is an audition for a series regular. So my question is, do I need a manager in order to get auditions for series regular roles on TV? Because I'm getting auditions for co-stars, I'm getting the occasional audition for guest stars. So do I need to expand my team? So I asked this of Ricky yesterday during class, and her response was, any agent can get you auditions for co-stars and guest stars. Series regulars are going to the actors who are already at that level. A manager can spend more time pitching you to casting, but unless they are a very powerful manager, if you've managed to start working with a very powerful manager, they are unlikely to be able to unlock the rooms that will get you the auditions for series regulars. And it just creates this catch-22. You have to be at that level to get that manager, or you have to be at that level to get the series regular audition. But how do you get to that level if you can't book the series regular? Do you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's the total catch-22. How do you get the audition if you're not at that level yet? But you can't get to that level until you've booked that kind of a job. I have thoughts and feelings about this. I would love to hear what you think. Come and tell me if this strikes a chord with you, if you've noticed this phenomenon in your own career. It's just that catch-22 that I'm sort of grappling with. But Ricky was Ricky just reinforced that, yes, it's a catch-22. Um, and I have thoughts, because it's kind of the same in a world that I know, that I'm have more experience and more familiar with. In the theater world, it's like you start out as in the ensemble, right, of a show, of a, let's, specifically of a musical, and you get little a line here and there. You get to, perform not in the spotlight, but legitimizing the world of the show, and people notice you doing little things that are good. So they give you more lines, they give you a bigger role, they give you more responsibility, until you are in the room for the role, right? And I think it's the same with TV. You just have to keep doing great work at the level that you're at, and showing interest in keeping your antenna up for the larger opportunity. I am by no means at the level where I can say to my agent, I'm not going to do co-stars anymore. Only send me up for guest star roles. I'm not there yet. And I sort of feel as though that wouldn't serve me anyway. I don't know. Does it serve you to to turn down co-stars in order to wait for the guest star roles? And then once you've done enough guest stars, then you are important enough to get the invitation to audition for a series regular. That's the methodology that I've been able to come up with so far. Tell me what you think. I want to know what you're what you think about this. Good morning. This is the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. Thanks for being here. Apart from grappling with how to become a series regular in Ricky Gimelstob's class yesterday, I also went to a Q&A with commercial casting director Lauren Charkow. And I just want to shout out that Lauren Charkow has a podcast that she does with three other casting directors, Stacey Gallo, Mary Egan Callahan, and Brooke Thomas. Their podcast is called Podcast Hers. I guess it's a play on podcasters, but it's Podcast Hers. And there are four casting directors, and they talk about casting to demystify the casting process. They all work in all media, but they certainly have specialty in commercial casting, which is something that I want to sort of hear more skills about. And to be honest with you, I thought that this Q&A would help with that. Didn't really. I'm sort of not. I'm not unlocking what makes auditioning for commercials different than auditioning for dramatic roles or comedic roles. The two things that I did get from takeaway is what we already know. The key points are authenticity is key. The more yourself you are, the more useful you are to casting. The more specific you are, the more yourself you are. Good morning. This is the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. Let me know where you're joining from and what you're working on in your acting career. So yeah, the first takeaway from the question and answer with Lauren Charkow, the commercial casting director here in New York City, is that authenticity is cute, and the most interesting performances come from people who live interesting lives. So Feb 29 guy, after being an actor for over 40 years, once you get guest stars, turning down co-stars is a must. Oh, interesting. So here's the catch-22 there. My last TV role was in season 2 of Elspeth, and I was booked and paid as a co-star, but it was quite clearly a guest star role. It was 5 scenes. One of the scenes was 2 pages. Everybody acknowledges that that is a guest star. That's not a co-star. But I was booked and I was paid and billed as a co-star. Feb 29 guy says they will only see you only as co-stars, in my opinion. It's interesting because then there are always exceptions to the rule, right? Uh, the story that I keep hearing about is Cheyenne Jackson told this story. Cheyenne's led movies. He's a star. He's not A-list, but maybe C or D. But I mean, he's on the Hollywood ladder. And was it last year or the year before? He wasn't. You need to earn over $25,000 in a year in order to trigger union health insurance through SAG-AFTRA, and he wasn't going to make it. Cheyenne Jackson wasn't going to make make it to the $25,000 trigger to get health insurance. So he called up Kathy Bates and said, "I'll take anything on Matlock, whatever you've got." And so he ended up doing like a 3-line co-star on Cheyenne Jackson, who would normally be up for series regular, took a 3-line co-star on Matlock just to trigger his health insurance. So I feel like there is, I don't know that there's any hard and fast rule about it. My feeling is that you've just got to stick at it. And I hear you. I hear you about this is how it used to be. Feb 29 guy says, this is how it used to be anyway. I was on series and had to beg for work as well. Times change. And that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, now that we're seeing movie stars like Nicole Kidman do television, that's bumped everybody down a peg, you know? But I really appreciate your input, Feb 29 guy. As I say, I've booked co-stars, I've booked recurring, I've booked a few guest stars. But because I'm always jumping off to do theater work, I good morning, friends. Morning, El Morgan. This is the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. We are asking the deep questions today. How do you move up in the industry if you can't even get in the room? I feel El Morgan knows something about getting in the room. It was just this whole concept of how do you get the audition for the series regular if you're not at the series regular level, not in terms of talent, just in terms of status in the industry. Because I was asking casting director Ricky Gimelstob from Jonathan Strauss Casting this question yesterday, and she sort of confirmed the catch-22 there, that you need to be important enough in the industry to get the audition for the job that will make you important enough in the industry. I have thoughts and feelings. You've just got to keep. My feeling is you're going to drive yourself crazy if you're trying to control things that you can't control. And so what can you control? You just keep doing excellent work at the level that you're at. I feel like it works the same way in theater. You keep doing the work you keep doing excellent work at whatever your level you're at, and that attracts the attention and creates the momentum in order for you to move higher up the ladder. That's what has worked for me in the theater, and all I can do is until I learn the big unlock, which I will promise I will share with you all. Thank you, Feb 29 guy. I appreciate that. I try to be a nice guy. But until keep at it, y'all. I do have to keep moving today. What am I doing today? I've got a couple of coaching things that I need to deal with. and I'm doing some pre-pro for a production that's going up at Classic Stage later this year. I will not be in that production. Don't get it twisted, but I am helping the choreographer explore some movement that they would like to incorporate into that production. So that's going to be really fun. I'm really excited about that. All right, friends, wherever you are in your acting career, remember, you got this. Keep going. And I will be right back here tomorrow. Oh, no, it's the weekend. I have a really fun weekend lined up. I'm going to be doing some voice announcing for a dance school. It's a gig that I do every year if I can, and I love it. But I'll be right back here on Monday at 8 a.m., and I will see you then.